Hey guys, this is Kim back with another video. So I don't know what you guys think about animal communication, but I just did a video on tarot cards and animal communication and card slinging for your pets and for animals. I don't know what you guys think about that. It's definitely interesting to me and I want to explore the topic more. But yeah, this video I kind of mostly want to talk about animal communication. So just communicating with animals through telepathy, or just kind of energetic connection. So how I got started into this how I started looking into this topic, like what piqued my curiosity was, I believe I saw BuzzFeed's pet psychic video. So this woman, I think her name is Ellen, she came onto BuzzFeed show and they did a video together, and then in which she translated and communicated with this cat, this dog, and then this other dog, I believe. No, just two. Maybe two, I forgot. But I saw a BuzzFeed video about pet psychics and animal communication, and I was really, really curious. I was really interested because I definitely believe in communicating with animals, but I just didn't really know how that worked. And that was really interesting to me, so I decided to look into it. I scoured YouTube for any animal communication videos that I could find. Sadly, there's not a lot, but they were all very interesting. Like this woman, another pet psychic or animal communicator, her name is Lydia, and she communicates with farm animals a lot. Like she communicates with horses a lot. She did a bunch of readings on llamas, and it was really interesting because all these animals have so many different personalities, and then you see their owners or their guardians validating what the pet psychic has said, about like the personality traits that they have observed themselves, and then the way that these animals work, and the way they behave, and then just very, very fascinating in the way they talk. And I also looked into like animal communication, just how it's done, and usually pet psychics would say they communicate through psychic impressions, like images. You would hear a sound, you would have feelings, you would sort of see, I don't know, words, probably not words, because mostly images. And then the pet psychic or an animal communicator has to put together all that message and then translate it into human words. And I know some pet psychics, like Ellen from BuzzFeed, who did a video with BuzzFeed, she could just legit just hear animals talk, and she could hear them in a specific voice, in specific tones and specific words. And I thought that was really, really cool, and I just wish I could do that, but I can't, sadly. But I think definitely though, after I started this journey of looking into animal communication, I did notice a couple of times where I felt like I really established some kind of connection with my cat Professor, and I kind of want to share those stories with you. So I remember the first few days after, just binging on all these like pet psychic videos, I just started practicing some techniques that they suggested. You would try to hold an image in your head, you would try to send it to your animal through sensations, through images, and you would see how they respond, and you would try to ask for validation too. So the first time I did it, I was like, okay, so Professor, just imagine me staring down at this cat, this amazing, gorgeous, lovely ginger cat. So I'm just looking at my cat, and I was like, if you can hear me, I want you to yawn. So I pictured him opening his mouth, I picture his jaw stretching, I picture the mouth opening, and at that moment, the moment after I sent him that thought, or I thought that I sent it to him, I hear this like really high pitched noise in my head. It was like, just went through into my lower ear and left, like just out that way. And then my cat yawned, and I was really excited. I was like, oh my god, maybe he heard me, or maybe he just yawned at that very exact moment, because yawning isn't like the most unusual thing a cat could do. So, but I thought that was really cool, and I feel like I got some validation from it. But I think what really gave me validation that there's some kind of communication happening, I feel like sometimes like I can't really hear him, I don't really know what he's thinking, but I think he can definitely pick up what I'm thinking much easier than I could pick up what he's thinking. So it's more like there's more traffic like going to him, I feel, and he can register it, because I believe animals are inherently telepathic. I really believe that. But there's not much coming. Like maybe he's sending me stuff, but I'm not picking it up because I'm not really tuned into that frequency or whatever. But I definitely believe that when I try to send him stuff, he would get it more often than I would get his stuff, if that makes sense. Because there's this one time I was trying to teach him how to open a door, like not a completely closed door with the doorknob, obviously. No opposable thumbs, that's never gonna work. It's like a round doorknob too, right? So I was trying to teach him how to push open a door. Because you know, like a door, you can open like two ways, right? One, like he already knows how to push a door open, but he doesn't know how to pull a door open, and so he could squeeze into like the little crack and then just get out that way. So when the door is kind of collapsed, he knows how to open it if he could push the door open, but when the door is like, it opens the other way and he has to pull, he doesn't know how to do that. So one day I decided to train him. I kind of collapsed the door on purpose and he couldn't get out because he kept trying to push against it and it wasn't working, and he was kind of like, oh my god, why is this happening? So I tried to teach him how to open a door. I sent him images of like, I was just like, okay, Prof, I have something to tell you. Make sure you listen. And I sent him an image of his paw going inside, like right between the door and the door frame. I sent an image of that, and I also visualized, or just kind of try to convey the feeling of impact. Like you really have to like jab in your little paw in there, and you can like pry it open. You can like, you know, open it like that. So then I saw him try a few times. He was like, eh. And he gave me this meow like, I was like, Mom, I don't know how to do this. I don't want to. It's like he was whining. He was like, just do it for me. He's like such a spoiled little prince. So, so I sent him again. I was like, you can do this. You can do this. You're a really smart kitty. You're just lazy. So I sent that image to him again. I was just like, paw it open. You can do this. Put your paw in. Open. Paw in. Open. I just kept spamming him that image. And I taught him how to open the door from the inside. He actually learned it. Like, finally he decided to stick his paw in, and you kind of like play with the door a little bit. He pawed it open, and then he went out. And then ever since then, he knew how to open a door from that side, like from either side. He could push it open, he could pull it open, and he learned it. I thought that was the most amazing thing ever. And here's another story that's really cool. Because like there's something must have happened, right? I just totally believe that that telepathic message got sent to him and he actually learned how to open the door. Or maybe he's just naturally smart, who knows? But honestly, like if I believe that if I hadn't done that, he would have learned it. And there was this other time where his claw got stuck in like a bunch of fabric, like the cover for a chair or something. And then every time that happens, he would try to like pull away from it, and then it would just kind of stretch his claw, and it would hurt a bit, I think, because he would usually let out this little whelp. And then when I was watching, I was just like, oh my god, if he simply just pushed forward a little bit to unhook the fabric from his claws, and then he could lift it like with ease. You know, he's not stuck on something super hard, he just doesn't know the right way to pull. So again, I did the same thing. I was like, okay, Profi, something to teach you, like gotta listen. So if your claws get stuck in fabric again, forward first, out. Forward first, and then out. I just kept repeating that image over and over, and I also verbalized it, and I try to imagine the sensations of him like untangling, like unhooking his claw from the fabric. And then I said that to him, and then there was this moment where he froze for like 5 seconds, and he was like, and then he went up, and then he freed his claw from the fabric, and he knew how to do it from then. Like he knew how to unhook his paws, and I just find that super amazing. Like I definitely believe in animal communication, definitely believe in telepathy, and it's just amazing. I have like a lot of little stories like this. And there's this other time where I was really afraid that I would step onto him, because I think the day before I accidentally stepped onto his tail or his paw or whatever, and then he was like, ah! And he like ran away. So I feel really guilty about that. I mean, I don't think I didn't step on him very hard. I just feel like I touched him and he kind of like ran away, and I feel really bad. So like in the next 3 days, I had this like overwhelming fear of like landing on him, just stepping on him really hard. And then sometimes my imagination takes me to really gross places. I would picture like stepping on his face, and I would just crack his skull open, or I would like step on his tummy and just organs would come out. It's just really gross. Like I don't know if you do this, but I do sometimes. My imagination just takes me to really nasty places. And And there was this one time I was like kind of walking towards him, he was just chilling on the floor, and then in my mind I was like, oh my god, what if I actually just accidentally step on his head? And then that image was in my mind. I was like, step, 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 and then in my mind it's just like, boom, on his head. And I wasn't even close to him. I was like at least 4 or 5 feet away from him, and I was thinking that. And as soon as I thought that, he got up immediately as if like he was spooked by it. And then he moved and jerked in such a way which led me to believe that it was as if he was dodging my foot that was coming down, and I was like nowhere near him. And I was like, oh my god, like he could pick up on my fears, he could pick up on my insecurities. When my feelings are really strong, when they're attached to an image, when they're attached to something, he would know, he could pick it up. Like, without a doubt, I believe that. Like, I believe animals can pick up those things, and it's just really incredible. I feel so. Yeah, and I think like this just really makes me reflect on if I want my animal to be happy and stress-free, because they're sort of like a sponge, you know, because they're just so attached to their humans. They really pick up a lot of your shit or our shit. So like, it's like if you want your animal to be happy and healthy and well and balanced, it's like you have to exist in a state of balance. You have to be stress-free, you have to be anxiety-free. Like, otherwise they're going to pick up those things and they're going to react to your stressful energy and your anxious energy. So that's why I think it's such a blessing to have an animal around. It just reminds you to stay in the now. Like, I know, like, I watch like The Dog Whisperer and My Cat from Hell, and both of them say the same thing. It's like you have to come from an inner, like, this place of inner balance so your pets can be happy. Like, it could remove a lot of problems and issues for your pets because they're simply picking up on your energy that you're projecting onto them or you're sending to them. So that's why I think having an animal in the house is such a blessing. It's just a living reminder of like your happiness is part of the equation. Like, if you want them to be happy, like this applies to humans too. If you want other people to be happy, you gotta be happy too. Otherwise you're just a black hole and you suck other people in with your negative energy. So yeah, it's like you have to work so hard on your own happiness and cultivate your own happiness to allow others to be happy around you. And I think animals are wonderful reminders of that. And in that way, I'm really glad that I embarked on this journey with a pet. I've had Prof for over 2 years now, and it's just been such a journey. It's been great. Like, my life it's so much better with a cat. I am pretty sure all the cat lovers out there would agree. Yeah, I think those are some of the stories, animal communication stories that I wanted to share with you. And do you have any, and it's not really related to tarot, and this is mainly a tarot channel, but it's related to energy, which is related to the overarching theme of this channel, I guess, which is about leveling up and exploring interesting things and spirituality and in the spiritual community. But yeah, it's really interesting. So if you have stories like this, you gotta let me know, or just make a video. Make a video, and then I would love to see it, because I love these stories. And I love like how animals and humans can manage to connect and send messages to each other. And there's this universal language that we can all learn. It's really cool. Like, it's really cool. It just makes me feel more connected to myself, because I'm more connected to the world and the living things that are around me, and it just makes me feel so much more connected. So I think it's a good thing. Like, if you have a pet, if you have an animal in your house, I think it's kind of cool to explore the energetic and telepathic side of a relationship. Get some psychic action going. Send your pet some messages, kind of like sending a text message, but through like the spirit web. I don't know. Give it a try, see what happens. For me, it's been definitely like full of surprises and interesting twists and turns. Like, there's definitely validation of like exchanges happening, and I feel like that's really cool. So yeah, I think that's it. Until next time, be the hero of your own story and keep calm and tarot on. I will see you next time.